What 3 words does a woman never want to hear? You have cancer. Those were the results of my biopsy. So not something that I thought that, it never even crossed my mind that it was going to be positive and I was going to have cancer. Not only do I have cancer that is in the lobes that is hard to see. So I'm going to need to go for an MRI and just find out what I'm up against, and then I'm going to have some choices to make. So good thing is my gynecologist said, the good news, you're not going to die. The bad news, you have a long journey ahead of you. So just make sure that you are checking and you're doing that self-check. I didn't feel a lump. I still don't have a lump until after I had the biopsy. And I just saw a retraction of my nipple. I had no idea that that could possibly be cancer. And with COVID, I couldn't get into my gynecologist until July. And then by the time I got an appointment with my gynecologist, I was changing jobs and getting new insurance that didn't kick in until September. And because I thought it was just my yearly mammogram and I wasn't going to have anything, I didn't really think it was a big deal. Well, joke is on me. I had cancer. I have cancer. I'm going to fight it, but now I have a decision to make. What am I going to do next? So follow me along this journey and see what my decision is going to be. I still have some choices and a second opinion, and I guess we'll find out. You're going to find out along with me. So my cancer is invasive lobular carcinoma. So it started in the lobes and apparently is really hard to detect on mammogram. So here's what my options are. I saw a breast surgeon and she said that I could have a middle lumpectomy, but I still needed the MRI to see what was going to happen. So that middle lumpectomy, I'm going to lose my nipple, my areola, and most of my breast because I'm only in between a A and a B. So that's going to be most of my breast. So I wanted to wait, and she said I could just have that done and then have a lift on the other side because the left boob was okay. My question is, how do you know? They didn't do a biopsy on that. How do you know for sure? And what are the odds? So I was told if I left that breast, I'd have a 7% chance. If I take it off, I still have a 2 to 5% chance of it coming back in the wall. So that's 2%. So why take it off for 2%, right? But something just wasn't sitting right with me, and we left it as I would have the MRI and then I would make a decision. So I had the MRI, and what they found was another spot in my right breast. So there's no chance of saving the right one. So now the decision is, do I save the left one? Do I take the left one off? So what they're telling me is that if I leave the left one, then I will still have sensation and it's an easier recovery versus a double mastectomy. But what about recurring in that boob? I didn't have a whole lot of information and I didn't know what was going to happen, so I wanted a second opinion. So a week later, so we're talking months now to get to this point of a second opinion and feeling comfortable with the decision. So when you're told you have breast cancer, they give you your options and they say, but you need to make the decision that's comfortable for you. How the heck do you do that? Okay, what are the decisions that are comfortable with me? I don't have cancer. How about that one? That's not an option. So now my decision is 1 breast or 2 breasts. Reconstruction, no reconstruction. How big do you want them to be? Do you want the nipples tattooed on? Do you not want the nipples? Do you want a nipple share? All of these choices that you make in a really short amount of time when you're still trying to process all this information. It's a lot to take in. Give yourself a break. I've had to take some time to process. So I had time to process. And here's what my decision was. Double mastectomy. If you're going to take one, you might as well take both, is what I decided. And after my second opinion, she said that with this particular cancer, there's a 20 to 30% chance of it coming back in the other boob. So I don't like those odds. And I decided that I needed to do whatever I could to kick cancer's ass. I don't want to look back and think, what if, or I should have. I want to make the decision that I know that it was the only decision I make, that I can't have second-guessed myself. So I'm comfortable with that decision. But it's still scary. It's still losing a part of me that I'm pretty much attached to. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm scared. I know that I'm not the first woman to have breast cancer. I'm not going to be the last person to have breast cancer, but this is me. And it is a personal journey that you have to go through. And although you have amazing friends and family, it's a decision and a choice that only you can make, because only you know what's right for you and what you can live with. And so that's where I'm at now, 6 days to the surgery. And I've been good this last couple of weeks, just pondering and processing, and I haven't second guessed myself. I've just gone on with my life. I'm preparing my house for what I want. Where do I want to sit after? Where do I want to sleep? What am I going to have to look at while I'm sitting in that chair for the next 4 weeks? So I'm trying to put all that and get all my ducks in a row and just get everything into place. Nature's going along here with us. So that's where I'm at. And your journey is going to be different, whatever you choose. And I had a girlfriend who went through this 10 years ago say, Sherry, there's no wrong decision. And when you put it that way, it's true. There's no wrong decision. Whether I went with one or both, it would be right because it would be the right decision for me. So if you're going through this, just know that there's no wrong decision. And you do have to make the decision that's right for you. No one can make that decision for you. And so stay tuned and see what happens. I'm having a thermography to see kind of what's going on in my body on Tuesday. I have a COVID test on Wednesday, and then I have surgery on Friday. So watch the next video and find out what happens. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell if you want to follow along with my journey and not miss anything.